Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today we're doing something a little bit different because I saw this thread on the Rocket League Esports subreddit titled "Pro Players in Ranked Should Give a Lot of Grace to Non-Pro Players in Ranked," and I thought, what is going on here? What has happened? I've got to check this out. But actually, you know, as someone who's very often, early to try and check Rocket League Pro players and their attitudes towards some things, and try and point out where maybe they could be doing things a little bit better. I actually think on this topic I'm going to come to the defense of the Rocket League Pro rank players, at least in some ways, because this to me is pretty weird. I don't know what's going on here, but let me elaborate. So the reason for this post, as evidenced in the first paragraph here, our original poster says, "I just watched Scrub's new video," that's Scrub Killer, after not watching him for the past year, and I think he really solidified my thoughts on how some pros treat their ranked teammates and even opponents. So before I read the rest of this post to you guys, I will say that I went to Scrub's channel and I watched his most recent video, and the thumbnail is called "No Flaming," and "Playing Until I Flame, Gone Humble." So here's me thinking, okay, Scrubs, yeah, he's probably failed on this video, he's probably roasted his teammate, probably crossed the line, probably annoyed a bunch of people. So I watched it, and it's a 48-minute video, so I skipped through a video waiting until Scrub's team would concede, and then I'd watch the reaction to Scrub after his team concedes. And I watched the reaction to every goal that his team concedes. I didn't watch the video in its entirety, but I did watch the reaction to every goal that they've conceded, because that's usually the moments that will cause the most tilt. And I've got to say, I didn't really see anything that surprised me. And this is a video that's uploaded 22 hours ago. So when this post, which was made 13 hours ago, says that they watched Scrub's new video, I'm thinking, well, it has to be this one. But just in case our original poster was referring to the previous video, not sure how that could possibly be when there's a 9-hour difference. I watched the previous video as well, and again, I skipped through to see every goal that Scrub's team would concede, and so I could see his reaction to those moments. And again, I didn't really see anything that I thought was too extreme or surprising for Scrub, given his online persona. So I'm honestly surprised that this video, or maybe this one, even this one, would inspire a post like this. However, I'm not surprised that the post it does exist, because this is the type of content that Rocket League Esports Reddit loves, and it's the content that they love to upvote and comment on, because negative content, nitpicky content, controversial content like this always gets talked about, always gets upvoted right to the top of the subreddit. But it's definitely gonna make some people have an unfair opinion on Scrub, I think, and that's why I wanted to make a video on this topic. I think a lot of people are just gonna see this title, they're gonna read the first line, they're not gonna watch the videos, and they're just gonna think, yep, Scrub's not the kind of person I want to be a fan of. They're just gonna make the judgment without doing their research, because that's what most people are like. However, the fact that this is being massively upvoted, I don't think indicates that most of the people upvoting agree with this. Like I said, I think a lot of people just like to see reactions to this. For those people, you're getting what you wanted from me, at least. I'm reacting to it. And most people commenting on it as well. I'll look at some of the comments with you in a bit, but it doesn't seem like, there's a ton of people saying, yes, Rocket League pros are way too toxic to their ranked teammates. That doesn't seem to be the general consensus at all, nor should it, in my opinion. But I want to reiterate before I continue here, I did not watch the videos in their entirety. Maybe I missed something that was totally out of line. I really don't. I'd be very surprised if that's the case, though, because the general vibe of these videos didn't seem bad at all. He seemed like he was being very wholesome, actually, and very self-aware and honest. So I think it was all fine. But I will talk later in this video about the line, because I think there is a line that's important not to cross in this context. But so that we don't take any longer actually getting into the meat of this, let's save that for later. Let's get into the rest of this post, because I know some of you guys want me to read this out for you. So beyond the inspiration of the post being Scrub's new videos, which I don't really understand, the next bit says, "Squishy and Appjack are pretty much always forgiving of their teammates, on YouTube at least, and made it so when I hear a professional player making 100k a year complain about a rando in ranked, I lose so much respect for that pro." So clearly this guy is a Squishy and Appjack video fan, and upon watching Scrub's videos, the difference in personality, the difference in content has shocked our original poster here, and he doesn't want to He doesn't have respect for Scrub anymore, I suppose. And he thinks that Scrub's making 100k a year. So you might need to do his homework on a few things if you think Scrub's making 100 a year. I played with a pro a few years back. He says we won. I was really excited to go watch the VOD as I saw they were streaming the whole match. He was just saying how terrible I was, and then he goes on to say I worked a full-time job and had 1/5 of their hours. Couldn't root for that team again. So this isn't the first time this has happened. Looks like our original poster has in the past had a winning game with a streamer, and when he watched it back, he's expecting to hear loads of positivity and praise, and all he got was being told how terrible he is, and then he's never been a fan of that player or team since. And finally, he says if LeBron showed up to a club league and got mad at his teammates for not being able to drain threes all day, I think we would all say he needs an attitude adjustment. So that's the post. Let's first of all point out a few things I think are important to address before we get into the real topic at hand here. Firstly, and this is in brackets here, our original poster says on YouTube at least, and this is a very important thing to acknowledge, and that is that you can't compare live streams to YouTube videos, because when a pro or anyone, a content creator, has a bad day, has a bad moment on Twitch, everybody sees it, everybody hears it. There's nothing you could do about that. But a bad day on YouTube, bad moment in YouTube, probably just gets edited out or not even uploaded in the first place, or just re-recorded. It's very different. You can't compare YouTube videos. You can't compare somebody's attitude. You can't compare somebody's content in a YouTube video to someone else's content on Twitch. They're completely different things and not a fair comparison at all. The only other thing I wanted to briefly refer to is that this analogy about LeBron is also, I think, an unfair comparison, because you can't look at an in-person real-life reaction or real-life interaction and say that's the same as a streamer talking about your gameplay to their live stream. It's not the same. It's really, really far away. These two things are not even close to being the same, in my opinion. Now, if a pro player or a content creator, anyone is streaming and they are typing to you, their teammate, in the chat or quick chatting you to try and tilt you, that's a little bit closer to the LeBron analogy here. It's still not, in my opinion, the same. People feel very safe behind their screens, and people forget that there's a real person behind the car in Rocket League that they're currently trash talking by spamming what a save. So I'd be, you're much more likely to run into that sort of toxicity in video games than you are in person. And I don't think that's ever going to change, unfortunately. And you just have to learn how to deal with that, whether it's by disabling chat if it tilts you, disabling quick chat as well if that tilts you, maybe go team chat only. I don't know. There are things you can do to stop being tilted by this. But expecting everybody to act like an interaction in a video game is the same as in person is pretty ridiculous and naive. And then to go as far as to say that a streamer or a content creator talking in their microphone, maybe on camera, maybe not, about your gameplay to their live stream, saying that that's the same as LeBron trash talking his teammate in person, or at a club league. I'm not sure, I don't watch basketball, I don't know what this is, but I imagine it's somebody much worse than him about their basketball ability. This is not the same, not even remotely the same. So this is an unfair analogy, and we have to also, as well, like I said, remember Twitch does not equal YouTube. With that in mind, let's get into this topic. So first of all, and I think one of the other important things to note is that no one is forcing you to watch their live stream. If you have a game like our original poster did with a streamer, and then he goes and watches the VOD and he doesn't like the content, then that's fine. He doesn't have to like the content. There's nothing wrong with not liking somebody's content. And in fact, you don't even have to, it's fine that you don't want to root for the team again. I think this is all totally okay. I don't agree with some of this, but I think this part, I see no problem with this. If you don't like the way that a streamer talks about your gameplay, and that makes you not want to watch their content or be a fan of them or their team, that's absolutely fine. That is up to you. Nobody's forcing you to watch their content. Nobody's forcing you to be a fan of them. You can make your own choices. However, expecting them to conform expecting them to conform their content to your preferences is not fair. That's entitled. There's lots of different types of streamers and YouTubers for a reason. Is because there's lots of different preferences when it comes to viewers. Looks like our original poster here is a fan of Squishy and Appjack. That's fine. Not a fan of Scrub, that's also fine. You know, there are lots of people who are a fan of Scrub, and you know, some of that, I think that style of content that Scrub puts out there, where he's raging at his teammates and where he's getting tilted on his stream. You know, I don't think he types or quick chats. Maybe he does, but you know, that's a different story. If you know, I don't think there's anything wrong with getting tilted for your viewers, because some viewers, myself included, really think that's entertaining. I love watching Scrub's mental breakdowns where, you know, his teammate is throwing the game and he's trying hard to carry and he just can't. I think it's very funny. And you know, Jesse comes to mind as well, although albeit you know, a bit different from Scrub in their style of raging. You know, I think there's definitely entertaining content there, and content that a lot of people love. So just saying blanket statement, you don't like that content, therefore it shouldn't exist, that's ridiculous. You know, I couldn't disagree more. You've also got to remember, some pros act up for their stream. You know, they want to put that content out there, they want to put a persona out there to be entertaining. Some people want to be wholesome, chill vibes, and I like that kind of content too. I think that the chill kind of content, I know AppJack does very like analytical content these days. I think it's all like, it all has its place and it's all good in its own way. So I'm not saying that one is better than the other. I think that there's just value to both, as long as they stay within the realm of what is okay, and we'll get to that in a bit. But yeah, some pros act up. You have to bear that in mind. They're making content. They're trying to make their stream happy, not their teammate who comes to watch the VOD after happy. That's not really what they're trying to do here. You got to remember that. And yeah, if all streamers were wholesome, if all streamers were just like, you know, acting as this post suggests, I think it would be pretty boring. I think it would be, you know, it would be the same as if nobody talked trash in esports. It would just be boring. It would be dead. It's way better when teams talk trash, when there's rivalries. It's just better for the scene. So the variety is good. I think that all of the different types of content in Rocket League right now are good. If anything, I'd say that there's more of the wholesome kind of positive vibes content going around than there is the rage, you know, type of content. So I don't think it's being overdone at all. So, you know, to elaborate on that a bit further, you know, and this might be a bit of a stretch, and it might be something that you guys think sounds pretty weird and disagree with, but I know for a lot of people, vocalizing frustration, and I can speak to this from personal experience, vocalizing frustration at a bad play in a video game, especially a game like Rocket League, can actually help you untilt. Now bear with me. If you bottle up all of the frustration, if you just sit there in silence and you're getting more and more annoyed at a video game, more and more annoyed at your teammate in Rocket League, it's you know, it's very easy to just get very tilted yourself, start playing badly. But if you can, you know, vocalize, get out of your system, just be annoyed, you know, react badly to a play that happens, and then reset and focus on the next play, just without remaining tilted. I think that's fine. A lot of teams will do that in pro play. You'll see like a, you know, a negative reaction, maybe a, you know, a face palm, or, you know, some kind of frustration on the face cam when a goal goes in against them, but then they're right back at, okay, right, let's go. They can reset, and that's the differentiation. Is players who can't reset that are, you know, having problems. But players who can just focus after being tilted, I think it's a valuable skill to have, something that I often do. You know, let out a Jesse smash, you know, just slam the desk if that's your thing after you concede, after your teammate misses an open net. As long as you can focus on the next play and keep trying your best to win, all good. It's all good. As long as, you know, for some people, that kind of audible frustration or physical frustration stops them from typing in chat. You know, a lot of people really want to type trash talk in chat to their teammate, but we all agree that's a bad idea. Spamming quick chat, what a save in team chat, bad idea. Now, if being audibly frustrated stops you from having that desire, then that's another reason to do it. So there are actually times where I think, and some people, some personalities who I think benefit from this kind of audible frustration. So with all that in mind, I think the most important thing to note here, when we're talking about you know, respect, when we're talking about how pros, how content creators should treat their teammates, how they should talk about their teammates on streams, in YouTube videos, I think the most important thing to remember is that there's a difference between saying something like, my teammate is trash at this video game, my teammate's having a bad game, how does my teammate miss that? why is my teammate doing that? You know, all of these things are talking about the gameplay. They're talking about aspects in the game, and I think that that's in general fine, as long as, like I said, you're not getting tilted and playing badly yourself or throwing the game or whatever. You know, all of the comments referring to gameplay are fine, in my opinion. It's the problem arises usually, and this is something that I do think is wrong, is when a pro player or content creator will say something about the teammates' life, say something about their personality, say something about where they're from, wish something bad upon them. You know, that's where I think the line is. You know, if you're keeping it about the gameplay, if you're keeping it about the game, I think it's fine. But you know, making personal comments, making it personal, is not fair. Now, of course, a lot of these pros will actually have in-person and you know, online, you know, relationships with a lot of the people that they run into. So although you might initially be shocked at hearing something that you know, someone like Scrub says about another pro, and think, whoa, that's harsh, you have to remember some of these guys are friends, and that's fine. You know, banter between friends roasting each other is completely different than just picking a random person you don't know online and calling them names. You know, that there's a difference there. I'm not saying that name calling in you know, in a bad way. You know, when you take things too far with your friends, it's still too far. You know, some people would disagree with that. Some people say anything goes between friends. I'm not sure I would agree there, but you know, that's just my opinion. I just think we've got to remember that there is a line, and as long as you're not crossing that line, I think it's fine to call somebody trash in a video game to your live stream. I don't see a problem with that. Personally, in fact, I think it can be entertaining and it could be good content. But yeah, the other thing that I wanted to mention, and it's actually the top comment in this post. Top comment says, and I did not look at any of the VODs to verify whether this is true, but the top comment says AJ literally starts throwing when he thinks his teammate is bad. Now, this is something that I'm sure most of you guys have done. You think your teammate doesn't deserve to win because he's bad, or because he's trolling, so you actually just start kind of trolling as well. I think we've all done this, but yeah, I do think we need to hold streamers, content creators, pros to a higher standard in that regard. They have to set a good example. You have to try and win, even if your teammate is bad. I don't know if this is something AJ really does. I've not seen this personally. It's another one of those comments that's definitely going to get upvoted regardless of whether or not people know it's true, because it's controversial. But I don't agree with that. Should it be happening from anyone? I think that's definitely too far. And we also got a comment here from Jack saying he's trying to find the balance between being analytical and being entertaining without you know, roasting people too hard, and he's trying to work on that, which is cool. Let's go through a few more of these. So somebody says here, there's a clear difference between a pro, say random comments like, why did he go for that, what is he doing, and really, really whiny players who just insult their teammate all game. And I think this is, you know, true, and this is kind of what I was getting at. Like, you know, saying why did he go for that or what is he doing, that's always fine, I think. But if you're, you know, just throwing out personal insults, definitely not fine, not cool. This isn't good content. You know, it's just negativity, pure negativity. But yeah, I think this can be fine. Like this comment says. So yeah, let's continue here. They say never meet your heroes. It's a good one. Scrub complain even about some RLCS players. That's right, Scrub doesn't discriminate. He does not discriminate. He actually will roast RLCS players too, because the original post here says, you know, ranked pros in rank should show grace to non-pros, but actually Scrub he'll complain about everybody. So yeah, that's why I think it's really, I was surprised that Scrub's videos inspired this post, because it didn't really seem out of ordinary, and you know, that's actually important to note as well. I'll talk again from personal experience on this topic, because as a streamer, as a content creator, your online persona or whatever content it is that you're making, it has to be consistent in order for people to be, you know, happy when they tune in. And for those of you who watch me for a long time will know, I used to stream gameplay and cast occasionally, and I realized that the general vibe between my gameplay and my casting was very different. So when I'm casting, I do what I do now. I'm, you know, trying to you know, analyze the game, trying to hype up the game, and I think people in general thought it was good vibes. But then when I was playing, I think I was probably a bit more like Scrub, and Jesse are, you know, roasting teammates, getting mad when something goes wrong, and you know, that stark difference I think put some people off. They were like, whoa, this isn't what I expected, so I actually stopped playing Rocket League on stream, because I realized, no, actually people are here for something that isn't actually happening right now, and I don't want to make content that people aren't gonna expect. So I'll focus on the content that I'm really passionate about, because you know, the gameplay for me was just filler content. I thought, what's the point? I'll just, you know, up the quality. So for me personally, you know, I can relate to this. But for Scrub, this is what he does all the time. That's what people expect. I mean, if you're a long-term Scrub fan and you finally get him in ranked and you watch back the VOD and he's roasting you, would you really be surprised? I don't think so. Scrub permed me on his team for telling him to be nicer to non-pro teammates a few months ago. Oh my goodness, that's fantastic. That's probably a bit too far. I don't think a permaban is... I don't think a permaban is warranted. Yeah, another comment about Scrub doesn't discriminate. He regularly calls pros bad. Yeah. But yeah, you know, I think overall, pros do need to, and content creators do need to be held to a higher standard. It is important that we don't, you know, throw around personal insults to people and, you know, go cross that line. We all know where that line is. But, you know, actually just making entertaining content, reacting, is in my opinion fine. Oh no, actually I remember this. This is interesting. So someone here says absolutely true, like other people have said, sometimes you forget there's another person behind the monitor. We did talk about that. Reminds me of this video from the XQC fan. Now this video, I'm not gonna watch it with you guys in case I get DMCA'd. I'm just gonna pause it on the thumbnail. Wow, there we go. So it's this video when your favorite streamer sees your post. If you want to go watch it, it's a very good video. I was really impressed by this, and it is somewhat relevant, but there is a difference, and that is in this video. I'm not going to spoil anything, but in this video, the fan of XQC, you know, makes something for XQC that you thought XQC would appreciate and laugh at, and instead that wasn't the reaction at all. The reaction was actually, you know, XQC hating on it, and not just that, hating on the fan personally. And it's like what I said, you can't make it personal. It's wrong, I think, if you get personal in video games. That's where you're crossing the line. And it also kind of links into what we were saying earlier. It's not what the viewer was expecting. So, you know, would somebody who cues into Scrub after being a fan of him for years really be surprised if you roast him? I don't think so. Was this viewer surprised when XQC reacted the way he did? Yes. So that's the difference. As well as, you know, XQC definitely made it personal when he reacted to this, instead of staying objective and staying on topic. So yeah, there is a difference, I think, but great video. I would recommend you guys check this out. Really, really cool art. And okay, what's the relating way of saying here? Big thing for a lot of pros, they're used to playing professional. Yeah, this is true. Know some people purely talk down to other players because they aren't pro, which is obviously a horrible thing to do. Yeah, this is a good point by Relating Wave. You know, I think that in many cases it is hard for pros to acknowledge the good plays, because if you've been roasting somebody for the entire game, then they actually do a really good play. It's quite difficult to then say, actually, you know, to be fair, he did pretty good here. Did pretty good. But I will mention, you know, in Scrub's video here, I think at the very end, he even said this himself. He says, wow, this guy stepped up. I was roasting him all game, but he actually played good at the end. So I don't think that, you know, Scrub, this is why I was really surprised that this thread was inspired by Scrub's videos, because I didn't see anything weird personally. Again, didn't watch the entire thing start to finish. I just skipped to the goals. So if there was something awful in there, Scrub, you're throwing me under the bus. But I'm trusting that you didn't do that, because I know he's a good kid. So he's Relating Wave goes on to say, there's no denying that pros do it in excessive amount, but literally every single person has done it. This is true. Everybody's done it. But yeah, streamers do need to be held to a higher standard, I think. Another thing that comes is the age. A lot of professional players, yeah, Relating Wave again, pointing out a lot of pros are very young. And this is one of the reasons why I have been, you know, vocal in the past, speaking up when I think Rocket League pros react in the wrong way to some things and are going way in the wrong direction. I'm very open to, you know, speaking up against them. But in this context, I want to kind of defend them, because I don't think this is fair. I don't think this thread is going to do any good. I think it's just going to make people judge without doing their research. So I don't think it's that's why I wanted to make this video, just kind of try and correct that. But yeah, Scrub, the fact that he's got a thumbnail here saying no flaming, it looks like he's pretty self-aware about this. The fact that he flames a lot, and I think as long as he can keep it about the gameplay, I have no problem with it. You know, when it comes to personal insults, every friend group is different, but I think we all know where the line is. You know, people make fun of my nose, that's fine. But you know, if I was a minority and people are making fun of me for that, that wouldn't be fine. You know, I don't need to educate you guys in this. It's all pretty common sense. But yeah, overall, I thought this was quite an interesting thread. You know, seems like the general reaction is pretty okay, but I don't want anybody to just look at this and think, wow, Scrub's super toxic. 'Cause I didn't see that personally. I didn't see that at all. And you know, I think as long as pros, as long as streamers are trying to win or trying to, you know, make an effort to play well in game, and not typing in chat, not spamming quick chat negatively, and not throwing out personal insults about teammates who they don't know on their streams, I think the rest is fine, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. Some people, I'm sure, will disagree, and they think that you should never say anything bad about your teammates' gameplay. But that, you know, that's up to you guys. You don't want to be a fan of somebody because they talk bad about your gameplay. That's totally fine as well. It's all good in my opinion. But yeah, you guys can weigh in this in the comments. My final thoughts. I think this is I'm very surprised that, you know, the Scrubs videos motivated this post to be made, but I'm not surprised that it is getting upvoted, because this is exactly the type of content that Reddit loves to nitpick about. But yeah, that's all I've got to say on this. I'll be checking out the comments to see what you guys think, and yeah, do your own research. Go watch the videos if you want to, you know, have a fair assessment. And yeah, don't be too quick to judge, because I think very often I don't think this is helpful. I think it's interesting, but I don't think it's helpful. I think most people will not do the research. I think most people will just have who didn't have an opinion will just have a negative opinion now about this, and I think unfairly. So hopefully that doesn't happen, but can't really do much about that, can we? Anyway, that's all we got time for here. I'm going to be back soon with the show matches and the more regular content. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this in the meantime. Take care, and yeah, till next time, thanks again for watching.